Oral language is spoken verbal communication. There are several different styles of verbal communication, and each style has its place. The style used when speaking with friends is different than the style used with older family, at work, or when presenting a speech. This presentation will discuss the different styles and when and if they are appropriate to use. Technical language or jargon is language associated with a particular profession, activity, or field of study. Let's take the term PA. Different professions use this abbreviated term to represent a particular job title. Although all PAs are assistants, each profession's job title is different. For example, in the medical field, a PA is a physician's assistant. They have just as much knowledge as a medical doctor, but a medical doctor has to sign off and be responsible for the actions and decisions made by the physician's assistant. In theater or film industries, a PA is a production assistant. These are usually interns or low-paid training jobs. They are training to help run the shows. They may help seasoned or knowledgeable staff in a particular area such as lighting, scenic design, costuming, or stage managing. They may also train in more administrative type positions such as marketing and publicity, or financing and accounting. Another profession is business. In business, a PA is a personal assistant. Their duties include a little more than a typical secretary. They're very knowledgeable about the business and know their boss's personalities and schedule inside and out, making sure that the boss has everything he/she needs when they need it. A good personal assistant is even able to anticipate the wants and needs of their boss. Think of Radar from the TV show MASH, or Betty from the TV show Ugly Betty. Therefore, the term PA is an example of jargon, or technical language, because it's very job specific. Our next style is standard language. Standard language is used by the majority of people within a specific language. This is not slang, but it's also not sophisticated language. Take our couple eating lunch. This is wonderful. I agree, this restaurant has great food. Their language is grammatically correct, yet not overly simplified. If you are out in public or in the classroom, this language style is appropriate. This language style could also be found in emails and letters. Formal language conforms to a higher structured set of rules, including more elaborate sentence structure and more sophisticated language. This language is appropriate in written homework or in oral speeches, and often includes more developed sentence structure and a very extensive vocabulary. This language has a more polished sound to it, such as President Obama's "Yes, we can change" speeches. Informal language is also known as slang. This language shows natural or real-life settings. Terms such as cool, awesome, sick, clean, and bro are all such forms of slang. Take a look at our family here. The grandchildren call their grandmother Grandma. This term for grandmother would be an example of slang. This style of language is appropriate in the private areas with friends and family. It's not appropriate to have loud conversations using slang, especially foul language, in the public where others may hear you. When it comes to written language, this language is appropriate in text messages, instant messages, and some emails. Be careful when using informal language in emails and posting boards on the internet, since you never know who may read them. The type of language that you use in these types of settings reflects on you as a person. One way to avoid common mistakes is to use the spell check and grammar checks you can use before posting or sending your messages electronically. The last style of language is called ungrammatical language. This style is often used with slang, and the same social etiquette rules apply about its usage. Someone who is still learning a language will often have difficulties with the grammar rules, and their language would be considered ungrammatical language. Many people would consider Ebonics or other regional dialects examples of ungrammatical language. It's important to be understanding of someone who is learning a new language, as it takes time, and the more someone tries to speak and practice the language, the easier it will become. For those that do know the rules, be patient with those that are learning and give constructive criticism to help them learn. If you grew up with the language and are using it incorrectly, try to fix mistakes in your own style. When ungrammatical mistakes are made by individuals we think should know better, stereotypes can form by the receivers. They may see you as unintelligent and incapable of working in a particular job. As you can tell, ungrammatical language is the most unforgiving of the styles of language.